Hello everyone. Did you know that a disease killing more people every year than HIV, tuberculosis, and malaria combined is one that most people rarely talk about? Today we are going to explore India's National Viral Hepatitis Control Program, known as NVHCP, the country's blueprint for eliminating viral hepatitis by 2030. Let us begin by understanding why this is called a silent epidemic. Globally, viral hepatitis caused 1.34 million deaths in 2015, a mortality rate comparable to HIV, tuberculosis, and malaria combined. In India, it accounts for approximately 3% of all deaths related to communicable diseases. What makes this disease so dangerous is its silent progression. Hepatitis B, also known as HBV, and hepatitis C, also known as HCV, have long asymptomatic gestation periods, which means people often do not experience symptoms until the disease has progressed significantly, resulting in delayed diagnoses and tragically missed treatment windows. To understand this challenge better, let us look at the dual burden that India faces with hepatitis B or HBV and hepatitis C or HCV. Hepatitis B falls in an intermediate endemicity zone with an average prevalence of 3 to 4%. India harbors around 40 million carriers, which represents 10 to 15% of the global pool. The good news is that a highly effective vaccine is available through the Universal Immunization Program or UIP, though treatment requires lifelong viral suppression using oral drugs. Hepatitis C, on the other hand, has an estimated prevalence ranging between 0.09% and 15% across different subpopulations, with 6 to 12 million people infected and 3 to 9 million estimated to have active viremia. Unlike hepatitis B, there is no vaccine available for hepatitis C, but the encouraging part is that it is curable with just 12 to 24 weeks of directly acting antivirals, known as DAAs. If left unmanaged, these infections take a heavy toll on the body. This follows a clear sequelae pipeline, moving from a healthy liver to chronic infection, then to cirrhosis, and finally to hepatocellular carcinoma or HCC and mortality. Chronic hepatitis B or HBV drives 20 to 30% of cirrhosis cases, while chronic hepatitis C or HCV drives 12 to 20%. When it comes to liver cancer, chronic HBV is responsible for 40 to 50% of hepatocellular carcinoma or HCC cases and chronic HCV for 12 to 32%. Economically speaking, curing HCV with generic directly acting antivirals or DAAs over 12 to 24 weeks is substantially more cost effective than managing end stage liver disease, decompensated cirrhosis, or cancer later on. Recognizing this urgent need, India began drafting its national response. In January 2017, a national steering committee was formed, collaborating with over 110 experts, program managers, and community members to shape the strategy. This led to the formation of thematic working groups focusing intensively on surveillance, lab diagnosis, treatment, immunization, blood and injection safety, and water sanitation and hygiene, known as WASH. Finally, on July 28, 2018, the program was formally launched by the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, known as MOHFW, on World Hepatitis Day, along with the release of operational, clinical, and lab guidelines commemorated with a dedicated national postage stamp. This program is built around a clear 2030 vision. It is directly aligned with UN Sustainable Development Goal 3.3, known as SDG 3.3, and the World Health Organization's or WHO's strategy to end viral hepatitis by 2030. The vision includes achieving countrywide elimination of hepatitis C or HCV as a public health threat, significantly reducing the morbidity and mortality of hepatitis B or HBV and hepatitis C or HCV, and also reducing the risk, morbidity, and mortality due to water and foodborne hepatitis A, known as AJV, and hepatitis E, known as HEV. To achieve this vision, the program rests on 6 core pillars known as the NVHCP core objectives. These include community awareness, focusing on preventative measures across general populations, hotspots, and high risk groups known as HRGs. Decentralized care, ensuring early diagnosis and management at all levels of healthcare. A digital registry through the web-based Viral Hepatitis Information and Management System known as VHIMS. Standardized protocols ensuring uniform diagnostic and clinical treatment algorithms nationwide. National linkages integrating with existing national programs for joint awareness and care. And capacity building, strengthening infrastructure and training human resources in all districts. These 6 pillars are supported by 4 core strategies. The first is Prevention First, the cornerstone of the program, focusing on immunization, safety protocols, and sanitation. The second is Diagnosis and Treatment, providing decentralized, free of cost clinical intervention and active care. The third is Surveillance, monitoring and evaluation, known as M&E, and research, relying on digital tracking and integration with the Integrated Disease Surveillance Program, known as IDSP. And the fourth is training and capacity building through continuous cascade learning and institutional strengthening. Let us look more closely at the first strategy, Prevention First. This includes awareness generation through targeted behavior change communication across diverse demographics, immunization, providing a universal birth dose for hepatitis B or HBV, plus targeted vaccination for healthcare workers and high-risk groups. Blood safety through rigorous universal screening of blood products to prevent iatrogenic, meaning medically caused, transmission. Injection safety, mandating reuse prevention, known as RUP, syringes in all government healthcare facilities. And wash or water sanitation and hygiene integration, aligning with the Swachh Bharat mission to ensure safe water and sanitation, helping combat hepatitis A or HAV and hepatitis E or HEV. The second strategy focuses on diagnosis and treatment, and the defining word here is simply free. This means universal access with absolutely free screening, baseline testing, viral load confirmation, and DAA or directly acting antiviral or suppressive treatment for HBV and HCV. It also involves a decentralized phased rollout, pushing treatment beyond tertiary centers down to all levels of healthcare, both urban and rural. Maternal shielding is another key focus, screening pregnant women for HBsAg, meaning hepatitis B surface antigen, prioritizing areas with less than 80% institutional deliveries for birth dose HBV vaccination. And community engagement plays a role too, partnering with peer support networks to generate demand and ensure long-term treatment adherence. Strategies 3 and 4 focus on data systems and capacity building. The VHIMS or Viral Hepatitis Information and Management System tracks several key indicators such as the number of states with functional district viral hepatitis management units known as DVHMUs and the number of patients diagnosed and initiated on treatment for both HBV and HCV, along with tracking sustained virological response known as SVR at 12 weeks. This is supported by the VHIMS digital portal, a paperless web-based management information system known as MIS, to maintain registries, track adherence and monitor indicators. Syndromic surveillance ensures deep integration with the Integrated Disease Surveillance Program or IDSP to monitor acute outbreaks and disease sequelae. And the training cascade involves over 250 master trainers from the National Center for Disease Control, known as NCDC, and the Institute of Liver and Biliary Sciences, known as ILBS, pushing protocols down to state and district tiers. The overall blueprint architecture can be understood as a trinity of care. The program is structurally engineered to operate three distinct verticals in total synchrony at every geographic tier: administrative management, clinical treatment, and laboratory diagnostics, with all three mapping perfectly onto one another at the national, state, and district levels. Looking at the management organogram, at the top is the National Viral Hepatitis Management Unit, known as NVHMU, housed within the National Health Mission, known as NHM, and headed by a joint secretary responsible for nationwide strategy, manuals, and central funding. Below this is the State Viral Hepatitis Management Unit, known as SVHMU, embedded in the State Health Society and managed by a nodal officer responsible for state coordination, supply chain, and training. And at the ground level is the District Viral Hepatitis Management Unit, known as DVHMU, supervised by a district program officer facilitating local logistics, outreach, dispensation tracking, and management of peripheral institutions. On the clinical side, treatment is organized in tiers. Model treatment centers, known as MTCs, located in medical colleges and advanced institutes, are handled by gastroenterologists and manage complex cases, decompensated cirrhosis, and referrals. Treatment centers, known as TCs, located in district hospitals, are handled by medical officers and diagnose and manage uncomplicated HBV and HCV infections using DAAs or directly acting antivirals, and decentralized dispensation units, known as DDUs, located at sub-district health and wellness centers, known as HWCs, facilitate local drug dispensation, adherence tracking, and follow-up care to prevent patients from dropping out of treatment. The laboratory organogram forms the diagnostic backbone. District laboratories conduct rapid serological screening for hepatitis B surface antigen, known as HBsAg, and anti-hepatitis C, known as anti-HCV, and baseline blood tests, including platelets for APRI scoring, meaning AST to platelet ratio index, to assess liver function. State reference laboratories are equipped for advanced molecular testing, including hepatitis B virus DNA and hepatitis C virus RNA viral load testing, to definitively confirm active infection and monitor treatment efficacy. And national reference laboratories, known as NRLs, represent the highest tier, handling specialized testing, complex protocol development, and national external quality assessment, known as EQA. All of this comes together in the patient cascade, taking a person from discovery to cure. It begins with discovery through opportunistic screening at health facilities or targeted outreach in hotspots. This is followed by screening using rapid point of care, known as POC, serological testing for HBsAg and anti-HCV. Next comes confirmation, where positive samples are elevated for molecular testing to confirm active viremia. This leads to linkage, where confirmed patients are assigned an NVHCP ID and connected to a treatment center or TC or model treatment center or MTC based on their APRI scoring. Patients then receive free initiation of 12 to 24 weeks of DAAs or directly acting antivirals for HCV, or lifelong suppressive analog therapy for HBV. And finally, follow-up ensures sustained virological response or SVR is tracked through the VHIMS digital portal. A critical part of this entire system is breaking the chain of mother to child transmission, known as PMTCT or Prevention of Mother to Child Transmission. The shielding protocol involves universal HBsAg or hepatitis B surface antigen screening for all pregnant women, along with mandatory linkage to CEMONC, meaning Comprehensive Emergency Obstetric and Newborn Care, for institutional delivery. Within a 24-hour window after birth, the newborn receives both the birth dose HBV vaccine in the left thigh and HBIG, meaning hepatitis B immunoglobulin, in the right thigh. This step is absolutely critical because neonates acquiring HBV from an infected mother have a nearly 90% chance of developing chronic infection if left unshielded. To reach the most vulnerable populations, the NVHCP system integrates closely with other existing health systems. This includes ERT or antiretroviral therapy centers, providing routine HBsAg and anti-HCV screening for people living with HIV, known as PLHIV, with co-infected patients referred directly to MTCs or model treatment centers. Targeted intervention sites, known as TI sites, offering outreach testing for people who inject drugs, known as PWID, men who have sex with men, known as MSM, and other high-risk groups through state AIDS control societies. ICTC, meaning Integrated Counseling and Testing Center clinics, providing seamless screening and focused counseling to prevent infection and manage transmission behaviors, and blood banks and dialysis units, forming an integrated screening network to protect multiple transfusion recipients and thalassemia patients. Of course, no program of this scale moves forward without challenges. Looking at the internal forces at play, the program's strengths include end-to-end free services, providing unprecedented public access to advanced diagnostics and costly DAAs, or directly acting antivirals, a decentralized architecture that moves treatment out of tertiary silos down to district health and wellness centers, or HWCs, and a strong digital backbone through the paperless VHIMS system, enabling localized data-driven tracking. However, weaknesses remain, including the silent progression of the disease itself, which delays diagnosis and narrows treatment windows, testing accessibility gaps in molecular testing uptake in remote areas, and human resource constraints, with shortages of trained hepatologists and dedicated lab technicians. Looking at external forces, threats include social stigma and hesitancy, with vaccine hesitancy and a profound lack of disease awareness in specific communities, along with private sector fragmentation, where an unregulated market complicates uniform treatment enforcement. On the opportunity side, the adoption of status-neutral models, borrowing stigma-free prevention approaches from HIV management, synergistic platforms, leveraging joint screening with the National Strategic Plan for TB, meaning tuberculosis, and NACP, meaning the National AIDS Control Program, and global momentum, with deep alignment to WHO's or the World Health Organization's 2030 elimination targets driving accountability. Bringing everything together, the National Viral Hepatitis Control Program, or NVHCP, is more than just a medical intervention. It is a structural blueprint. By integrating massive systemic architectures, guaranteeing free access, and utilizing real-time digital tracking, India is actively engineering the end of viral hepatitis. The network is built, the mandate is clear, and the tools to cure and suppress this disease are already in place. Hope you have understood about the National Viral Hepatitis Control Program, or NVHCP, India's blueprint for eliminating viral hepatitis by 2030. If you found this video useful, please like and share with your friends and colleagues. Thank you.